very, very important on what you focus on, what you think about, and what you let into your soul, right? Fuck politics.
All right. Let's just try it again, shall we? We're just going to start from the top. That last one just got grabbled pretty bad, and usually I just record it and re-upload it, but it was so early on in the stream that we can just start again, and hopefully people find it, but if not, just listen to it later. It's all good. And as people come in, I just have to report that there has been a very tragic accident back in my home of New York. A nickel truck fell over. It was a truck full of nickels, and this was the scene on the crime. The scene on just this. I messed that one up. 1 second. Yeah, I kind of ruined the joke. That's fine. All right, so this was the scene. A truck full of nickels fell over, and it was gratuitous and horrifying. It's real pandemonium. They just want the nickels so bad. And before we really get started here, I just want to address something. I've been called an anti-Semite before for making fun of people with big eyebrows and big noses and red shoes who do this with their hands, and they have a cat named Azrael. Yeah, I was raised with Gargamel. Gargamel was the nemesis of the Smurfs, and that is a stereotypic looking man of a certain tribe that runs a lot in Hollywood. And he rubbed his hands. He was always trying to steal using potions and magic from the Smurfs. And he has a stereotypically giant nose. He's bald, red pedophile shoes, a Freemasonic patch over his penis, and he's always and he has a cat named Israel. So I was programmed to not trust dudes who look like Ben Shapiro. And so I did some research into who made the Smurfs. A guy named Peyo. The Smurfs was first created and introduced as a series of comic characters by the Belgian comics artist Peyo in 1958, whereas they were known as Les Schtroumpfs. Okay, look at the mustache on that guy. New theory: Adolf Hitler did not escape to Argentina. He moved to Belgium and created a cartoon called the Smurfs. Guys, Gargamel had a cat named Israel. And then some people go, it was Azrael. Don't hide behind. I know how magic works. I know how lesser magic works. Don't even try. That is a grabbler. And so we were all programmed as little kids to really like Smarty Smurf and Papa Smurf and all that. And then this dirty grabbler would emerge trying to take all their Smurf berries using black magic with his cat Israel. How else am I supposed to view the world? So that brings us to Jordan Peterson's daughter. Let's Anchor Bear will set this up for us because she should have seen this before tangoing with me on Instagram.
At 1,000 yards, I can spot a whore at 1,000 yards in the fog. And if people don't start shaming these hoes, they're never going to learn. I know a thing or two about whores. They like crave your attention and then get really mad at you and then they lash out. Understand that you can shame bitches for being bad moms and whores. It's okay to slut shame bad moms. Because even though that kid is going to end up in a fucked up family, at least someone gave a fuck. At least someone said, hey, bitch, stay home with your kid. Those little moments can save the soul of a kid. So what I'm trying to do is set a tone that it's not okay to be a bad mom. Don't brag about having herpes and being on meth. Bring back slut shaming. Don't give these bitches any attention. Because the best case scenario is you get turned down and you look like a retard. Second best case scenario is you get herpes. I'll be honest, I don't want to get herpes. Thank you, Overbear, for your deep and profound honesty.
So Jordan Peterson, I know when I go after these people, it's the same nonsense in the chat or in comments. First, you have the people being like, I mean, I've heard the rumors, but this guy truly has lost his mind. This is my home. This is my home. Does it look like a man who's lost his mind? like I couldn't be doing better. Why am I doing this? Because these people are scam artists, and it's up to men to alert other men that people are scam artists. For example, Coddington Bear, who's my sweet Coddington Bear, who's my right-hand man, paid $300 to see Jordan Peterson talk about being a big lobster. It broke my heart, Coddington Bear, to see you waste your money like that. And now Michaela Peterson is charging people $600 for her to give them tips on how to only eat meat and salt. Okay, so one of my buddies sent me this. But just hear me out. If you know someone's a pedophile in your neighborhood, you alert other people to the pedophile. You say, watch out for the guy with the van with the weird sweatpants. That guy's a pedophile. Would someone then say, he's living rent-free in your head? You go, no, I'm trying to help you avoid the pedophiles. Jordan Peterson and Michaela Peterson have tremendous global influence. Not global. I take that back. Realm influence. It's important to alert your fellow man that these people are satanic scumbags. My opinion, my gut tells me Jordan Peterson used to rape his daughter. I can't prove that. I'm not calling him a pedophile. The odds are not 100. But I allege, based on the behavior I see of him and her, that there was some real spooky stuff going on in her childhood and now in her adulthood. And by the end of me explaining this, I don't think that you will react badly. Because I know right now, even right now, there will be people saying, how dare you? How dare you? Just wait till I'm done. And then we'll let you know. BB, you're the man you're crushing. Thank you very much. Rent-free in your head is a gay expression. Right, like Nick Fuentes lives rent-free in his mom's house. All right, so anyway, I posted this. So my friend sent me this meme. I like to give credit where credit's due, but I also don't want to, reveal people that don't want to be revealed. So I'll just leave it at this. It's a guy who runs a channel called Colored Elephants, but it's a specific color. We text each other quite a bit and give each other info like this. Michaela Peterson is on opiates, Adderall, SSRIs, and anti-herpes medication. And before you say, how dare you snoop and just reveal her prescriptions, she posted it on her Instagram for the entire world to see. The entire world to see. She posted it. She was like, look at all my drugs. My opinion is that she never had an autoimmune disease. When she's on Veltrex, it's for her herpes. Because I posted that amphetamine salt plus meat too. Exactly. Adderall is meth. It is. I was briefly prescribed Adderall, and it made me not capable of speech. The only real use for it would be if you're in a martial law situation and you have to be up for 4 or 5 days to shoot enemies. Other than that, I highly recommend you don't take Adderall. Adderall, for someone like me, makes you very quiet, and I just do this. Adderall for Jordan Peterson's daughter apparently is pretty key for her weight loss. She's a liar on the story. It's way worse than liar. Way worse than liar. Veltrex for herpes. Yeah, but all these it's called Munchausen by proxy. It's where you're sick, everyone around you is sick all the time so that you get unlimited sympathy. Jordan Peterson's wife's cancer, the odds that it's real are zero, almost zero. His daughter being in crippling, never-ending pain, zero. She was definitely just probably being molested by her dad. I started Adderall in high school, LOL. Well, I was actually prescribed it, and I didn't like it. It's not, I'd rather be fat. Yeah, it's, that's why I was so weird when Joe Rogan was like, Owen Benjamin's on meth. It's like, I don't even drink alcohol, and I've never done meth, and I was briefly prescribed Adderall, and it just made me vacant. And I've spoken about that for years. Like, don't take Adderall. It is called the crab diet. It was developed by a lobster. Hysterical. And so I'm on bloody meth, Jordan Peter. Right. Herpes and living a lie kind of go hand in hand. Yes. She also recently redacted Elephant's crushes. Yes. Vincent's awesome. He's a great guy. He almost drove up with his family to the Idaho show, but his I think it was his son was getting confirmed that weekend or something. Adderall is a long-acting amphetamine. Yeah, meth is worse for you. Like street meth, because it's just like, you pick your skin and out. But Adderall's not good for you. And I know there's people that swear by it, but it's like, it takes away your jizz strength. They are addicted to drugs and lies. Yes, exactly. All right, so anyway. But I've taken Adderall, and I've never lied about that. I've never said I've never taken Adderall. I didn't like it. Like, you can noticeably tell me, and it's like, but that doesn't take away from the fact it's meth. Like, I'm not one of those people that because something's bad, if I've done it, then therefore the thing isn't bad anymore. That's called moral relativism. It's really unhealthy mentally. Right on the Adderall bottle, it says amphetamine salts. And the only use for it I can comprehend right now is if you have to be up shooting invaders for 40 straight hours. And that the odds of that happening are very rare. But, it's possible. Like if you're a kamikaze pilot and you want to just fly straight into a plane, you probably want to take or straight into a ship. It does do that. Lessens your jizz strength. It'll lower your sperm count. Adderall causes hallucinations in most people. Pharma crack. Yeah. All right, let's stay focused here. I'm talking to myself, not you. So I wrote that and I said 12 pills for life. And so this saucy little bitch writes back and says, Michaela Peterson, felt cute, might delete later, LOL. These are my pills from when I was half dead with an autoimmune disorder years ago. Calm the fuck down, Owen. So what people don't get is I feel very comfortable in conflict with monsters. It's like when something like that happens, after I just bashed her recently on a stream, ankle biter gamma males would be like nervous, like, oh, I only like to nip at the shadows. But for somebody like me, when that happens, I'm like, yes! So I wrote, how's the finding yourself going? You're a mom, and your dad only cleans his room because he's on meth, bucko. For those of you that don't know, she recently abandoned her husband and child for a kickboxing pornographer in Romania. Much love, Andrew Tate. You're a funny dude on Twitter, but you are a kickboxing pornographer. And that's a mom. So anyway, no beef with Andrew Tate, but he is a kickboxing pornographer in Romania. So I posted that, and this is the way that these women act. Like, she does this because she wants to have sex with me. These women with cuck dads that were raised badly, when a guy calls them out, they crave more attention and they get real excited. So then, yeah, what we got here? So she writes, you're like correcting me. And I wrote, when you left your family, I finally understood your meat diet. Clean your fucking room, bucko. Okay. And then in chimes in a white knight rides up on his horse. Yawn. Your responses are impotent. Micro penis bear den. So I wrote, don't white knight for herpes girls. Best case scenario is getting turned down. All right, let me explain that. So if you're trying to get the attention of a girl like Michaela Peterson, the best thing you can do is call her the dirty whore that she is. And then you'll have a really dysfunctional, highly sexual, and very destructive relationship. I don't recommend that. Just stay away from these women. But if you want a white knight, like this guy, don't do it for a girl with herpes. Because the best case scenario is just being humiliated and turned down. The second best case scenario is getting herpes. All right. I'll get to that in a second. So here's a picture of Michaela and Joe Rogan and herpes. One second. And then someone jumps in. This is a superpower, young males, of being married. The reason I do this is not to take down Michaela Peterson or because I'm envious of a child molesting wreck right now in a rehab facility, contemplating suicide as he paces around. Well, alleged child molesting. That's just my opinion. I'll continue in a second. I'll show you some pretty damning evidence. I do this to show young men what is the wrong path and what is the right path. The right path is getting married, having children, being a good, honest family man, and growing our nation, right? Growing your nation, being strong. This is not the path. And these people have tremendous influence on the world. And so it's my job as a male, as a strong, honest male, to point it out so that other people don't go down the wrong path. Okay. So a superpower of being married is you don't have to ever give a shit if any other woman ever finds you attractive ever again. So this bitch says, this is not a good look on you, Owen. Lowering oneself is very unattractive. And I wrote, I'm married, so fortunately I don't care at all if whores like you are attracted to me. Mic drop. Instagram deleted the post, obviously, because it was too legendary. And so this is the only woman I care about if she's attracted to me is my wife. Everybody else can go fuck themselves. And when women try and do that push-pull on you like, this makes you attractive, this makes you unattractive, that's how they get you to vote against freedoms, gun rights, vote for war, vote for never-ending welfare. Like, the power of their pussy does not work if you have a wife or if you don't care. It only works if you want what they have. That's the equivalent of some dude being like, it's not good to lower yourself, Owen, or else you won't get any heroin. I'm like, well, I've never done heroin and I would never do heroin, so why don't you go fuck right off? It's the same thing. It's like if a woman says to me, oh, that's unattractive, and she has this profile pic like she's trying to look cute. It's like, bitch, find a dude who cares. Because whether or not you're attracted to me doesn't matter at all. And by the way, I know that women like that are, because they're fucked up in the head. And they like men that treat them how they deserve to be treated. All right, so then let's continue. So that's Joe Rogan and Mikhaila Peterson. Herpes. I'm just alleging that Joe Rogan has herpes. Mikhaila Peterson has herpes. She posted her prescription that included Veltrex. Oh, she takes it for her autoimmune disease. Bitch has herpes. This is when things get very disturbing. So as you can see here, Mikhaila Peterson is taking a picture in her underwear, wearing poofy shoes in a crackdown where it looks like a bed is just on the floor with her new infant girl on the bed, which appears to look like lipstick. Why is this so disturbing? Because Jordan Peterson liked it. And this is set up, this is some very sick stuff, guys. That's her dad liked the picture of her in her underwear with her baby behind her. And why, and how do these monsters operate like this? Because they say, how dare you? How dare you, Big Bear? How dare you? She is just finally proud of her body after all the autoimmune. No. Jordan Peterson is a goddamn pervert. And that alone is damning. This is one of the many reasons I think Jordan Peterson is a pedophile. That is his granddaughter sitting on a mattress on the floor of what appears to be an empty room with his daughter showing the world her underweared body. And her dad hit the like button. Good for you, sweetie. Since this picture was taken, Mikhaila Peterson has abandoned that little girl and is now taken up with Andrew Tate. Much love, Andrew Tate. Not starting beef with you, but you are a pornographer, kickboxer in Romania. Let's continue. Andrew Tate, pictured here, a pornographer, kickboxer in Romania, which I do not have beef with him. He says she said she liked top quality meat. And Mikhaila Peterson says, you're such a brat, it's unbelievable. Mikhaila Peterson is now charging young men $600 for her to give them advice on eating meat and salt. And then she meets with those young men once, maybe twice a year in what she calls her lion's den. It's an absolute scam. At minimum, it's a Ponzi scam. It's just a scam. At maximum, she's a prostitute. That she's being paid for sex. Oh, how dare you, Big Bear? That right there is a pornographer. Andrew Tate right there makes pornos for a living. Her dad, and this is a girl who left her husband for that guy. Much love, Andrew Tate. I have no problem with you. Her dad hit the like button. What man does that? I'll tell you what man does that. A man who used to rape his daughter. That's what I believe. And I'll show you more evidence. Now, as I'm tearing down somebody and what not to become, and I've been saying this now for literally years, and the lobsters come out, the existence of these other perverts helps alleviate their guilt. That's how it works. Like when Steve Renazizi said that he became a comedian because he was in the 9/11 tower when the plane hit, and then it was revealed that he wasn't. He had this long story that he did for like 10, 12 years where he said he was at the 53rd floor when the first plane hit, and his wife was also there, and they walked home, and that's when he became a comedian. He was not in the towers during 9/11. He didn't see a plane hit the towers. I allege that there were no planes, but that's a different story. He was uptown, and the job he claimed he had never even existed. So when I watch Joe fucking fuckface Rogan and Ari Big Nose Grabler Shafir and all these fucking dumb fucks, when they go, yeah, so he lied. So what? People lie. The reason they do that is because they are also liars. The reason, if someone is a cheater on their wife, let's say a guy cheats on his wife, when another guy cheats on his wife, he's like, yeah, I mean, he's having some fun. He's blowing off some steam. When you see someone defend a vile action, you know immediately that that person also does that action. When you see people say, yeah, so Jordan Peterson's proud of his daughter's naked body as she stands in front of his granddaughter. I mean, don't be such a fucking tightwad, Big Bear. Come on, don't be such a prude. Jordan Peterson is a sick fuck who probably raped his daughter. Who likes that image? That's a woman descending into the underworld, Jordan, into the belly of the beast. The belly of the whale. Maybe you and Pinocchio got to go save your daughter, Jordan. Too bad you're just drug-addled. And I highly doubt that Tina, or whatever the fuck her name, Peterson, ever had cancer. The way these people work, just like Bono with his charity, 99% of all the money you've ever given to Bono for charity went to Bono. 1% went somewhere else. The reason they do this is so that you feel sympathy for them. Sympathy for the devil. And you say, oh, well, how dare you speak about a man whose wife has cancer? He liked the picture of his naked daughter in front of his granddaughter and supports her Ponzi scheme that she's cooked up with a pornographic kickboxer named Andrew. We have to reconnect to morality, or else our society is fucked. We can build ourselves out of it. We can climb out of the underworld. This is an exciting time, but you have to fight. And the way you fight isn't with knives and guns. It's with speaking truth. And when all the armies of ants come out and go, how dare you? How dare you? Just go, fuck you! Banned for life, Duterte. That's what you got to do. Imagine the poor child saying, that's who I feel for. Me saying this is standing up for that little girl in this little room with her mom. The only person that's innocent in this entire scenario is that little girl on that bed. And if there isn't a community that stands up and says, why does that girl have a black eye? Why is that girl real squeamish around adult males? Why is that, like, who the fuck is hurting that girl? If the community isn't capable of that, our children are not safe. If our children are not safe, we don't deserve to have a fucking civilization. And there's no part of what I'm saying that's even debatably wrong. So save your bullshit. You little whores that want to tell me, oh, it's not attractive when I go after somebody. I'm only going to be with one woman the rest of my life, so close your legs and go home, because you're not welcome here. And all the white knights that want to, act all virtuous so that this bitch gives you herpes, bye. Save your fucking thumb strength, because you're going to need it. And that's who she ended up with. Want to know what it should look like? For every time I dismantle, when people say, "Oh, you're such a troll. You're such a troll." My first instinct is to not show my family online. It's smarter not to. But you have to show people what could be, and it's important. That's my family in Spain. Those are my 2 sons and my beautiful wife in a park in Spain. You can have that or you can have this. You choose that or that. And I have put in the work. I do have the life that is good. And I will show you a way to get there. And you don't have to pay me a fucking cent. You don't have to give me $600 so I tell you to eat salt and meth and meat. Nothing. It's like I want you to have what I have because it keeps my society strong. Who's Jordan Peterson? That's his actual mask. The persona is the mask that you wear. That's what persona means. The mask that you wear to convince yourself and the world that you're not a terrible monster. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't have to run away screaming. Jordan Peterson. That's a real picture of Jordan Peterson, and that's a real quote of Jordan Peterson. So Jordan, who says these things? I would never say my persona is a mask so that I don't have to face that I'm a fucking monster. Have you been a bad lobster, Jordan? Has Jordan been a very, very bad monster? So when I said in the beginning of the podcast, or the stream, whatever the fuck you want to call this thing, the Jordan Peterson, I suspect he's a pedophile. Starting to see my point? His daughter's broken. His daughter's a broken toy in the toy box that was probably used and abused by him and his buddies. And now all she knows how to do is try and crave male attention. She wants to, there's pictures, I don't even want to show you some of these pictures. There's tons of these sexy poses with her toddler. There's one where she's a demon. Literally. There's one where she talks about how sometimes she wants to throw her toddler out of a window. What makes a woman like that? Sexual abuse at home. Who would be the one doing it? The guy saying she has unending pain and ailments that no one can figure out what they are. If you're a pedophile and you're a sick, twisted little lobster, what would you do? Would you say, my daughter's sick? My daughter has so much pain that she has to be on all these drugs and she can't go outside and she needs surgery. Why do you do that? So that the daughter can just be in her little hole where you can fuck with that girl. Those ailments that they claim, that he claims are not real. Yeah, you can have autoimmune disorders. Yeah, you can have arthritis. You can't have all that shit and then be cured because you eat meat and salt. That isn't real. And then when you post little horror pictures like this with your little girl in the background, oh, what father and grandfather would hit the like button? I'll tell you who. A guy who wears a mask. And he says that his persona is so that he doesn't have to face that he's a monster. Okay, I'll show you another path. That, love, truth, honesty, gratitude, faith. I'm not just here to tear people down. It's not my first instinct to show my family. In fact, sometimes it freaks me out a little. But I know how much it helps people. There's been hundreds, if not thousands, of children born because they get to just see what a family could look like. That's how humans work. In the media, all we see is like, hey, look, it's 2 black homos and a white girl adopting an Asian, and they're all fucked up. That's our view of family. So I'll show you a different view of a family. And then it allows you to have a blueprint to move forward. Because if you don't, everyone's fucked. That contrast hits hard. Yeah. So save it when you want to sit around and say, oh, you're just jealous of Jordan Peterson. I'm jealous of a guy who probably raped his daughter. Are you out of your mind? That guy needs to be locked away. He locked himself away because he probably has this much conscience. And that's probably why he battles suicide. It's probably why he battles drug addiction, all that shit. Because part of him knows he should kill himself. In this mask thing, he reveals himself. Yeah. Jordan is such a brat, it's unbelievable. Don't use the word brat. It's weird. Where the hell did he get that mask? I think it was from his best friend who fucked his wife and then killed himself. So just save it. Go to the Daily Wire if you want to, or Steven Crowder or any of these people if you want to play your games and say, oh, how dare you, Dan Crenshaw, man. I'm here to tell you how to actually get out of hell. I got out of the underworld. I crawled the fuck out of the underworld with my wife, Amy. We're both in the underworld. She was at USC getting into debt, walking on the street, drinking a beer with a dog. I was a comedian on a sitcom who just hooked up with a complete strange model chick who I didn't even remember her name. Walking on the street, looking at my phone, wearing sweatpants. Me and Amy started talking. And then we clawed our way out of hell. We're both in Los Angeles in little lives, little boxes. Just demons just going like this with their forks. You can get out. Yeah, I know my hair looks fucked up. I gotta have Amy buzz it. But real love? Well, I can look like Albert Einstein. Look, check it out. Nuclear bombs are real. Believe me, because I'm a Jew. Hang on. I'm Albert Einstein. I'm a Jew. You should believe what I say because I'm so smart I can't even comb my hair. The world is relative. That's why I'm going to marry my cousin again. I'm real smart and you know this because I'm a 5'4" Jew and who can't comb his hair and just keeps fucking all of his relatives. I don't know why the crazy hair sells people on intelligence. You got Neil deGrasse Tyson with his fucking jungle fro from the 70s, just to really let everyone know he's black. And then you got like the dude from Ancient Aliens and Einstein. And people look at those fros and they're like, wow, he must be really smart because he can't do basic fucking tasks. I'm married to my cousins. That's how smart I am. I know, right? Hello. You know I'm smart because I'm a Jew who marries his cousin and can't comb his hair. All right. We grew those pumpkins. And by the way, save it when you say, oh, it's pagan and you. Some guy said that by us carving pumpkins, we brought in the devil for 5 years into our house. It's an American tradition. Relax. The people that point the fingers the most like that about benign shit, not about real shit, and don't try and make me into a hypocrite. That isn't a fucking pumpkin carving. Like when you have real disgraceful actions, yes. But like when I'm doing pumpkin carving with my boy and my wife, it's like, oh, how dare you? It's like, how dare me carve a pumpkin? It's an American tradition and it's really fun. And we spent all year growing those fucking pumpkins and they look awesome. You should be a little more concerned about that guy. That's not an American tradition to put on a fucking plague mask and talk about how you're a monster. Like the people that get so wound up about benign shit like carving pumpkins. It's like, oh, if you don't say this exact sentence, you'll not be saved. It's like, well, where the fuck were you when Jordan Peterson was fucking his daughter? I'll tell you, silent. This has been going on a long time. She's 27. Nice job carving. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That should be the answer. It's just, nice job carving. All right. That's why I don't get why people like Michaela Peterson try to tangle with me. I know she wants to have sex with me because those type of... Oh, this is the point I want to make. A lot of young men think women are all whores. And I know why. It's because the ones you interact with are whores. Like women in porn and on Tinder or at bars drinking, trying to hook up with men. They like very aggressive, very dysfunctional men. I know I've been those men. And I know those nicer men that see like a girl like that, like Michaela Peterson, like legitimately wants to have sex with me. It's almost gross. That's not an accurate representation of women. Most women are like the other day on a chat, someone said like, oh, women just want to be choked. No, they don't. They want strong males that can provide for them. Okay, the equivalent of women wanting guys who choke them is the equivalent of men wanting geisha girls. Most men don't want geisha girls. They don't want a girl. They want women who are somewhat subservient and respectful to them, but they don't want someone walking 10 feet behind them going, ho, 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 you have big American penis. Oh, I giggle with your big American penis. Oh, like that's an absurd caricature that only a really fucked up guy would want, you know? And it's the same with women with like choking and like kickboxing pornographers. It's like women with gamma male fathers who molested them, allegedly. I'm alleging that Michaela Peterson, because so many of these women that back in the day, like I probably would have hooked up with somebody like that. I know their backstories, and it usually revolves male abandonment or sexual abuse. And so I keep getting friend zoned by whores, putting me, gamma, exactly. And so I know what creates a Michaela Peterson, someone who just wants to take pictures all day, like look at my body, because they were sexualized too young. And so real women, yeah, they don't want that. They just want a strong guy. They don't want a guy to abuse them. They want a guy to lead them. Just like men, they don't want a girl to walk 10 feet behind them going, you have big American penis. Oh, I want to clean your big American penis. Like, to me, that sounds like a nightmare. But yet, I love classical gender roles. I like the fact my wife assumes she's cooking every meal for us and does laundry and takes pride in the home and doesn't have a job outside of our house. Like, I love that shit. If my wife started walking 10 feet behind me and giggling and saying, oh, you have big American penis, I'd be like, Amy, what's wrong with you? I'd be like, walk next to me and speak to me as an equal. I command you to speak to me as an equal. And it's the same with women. When you're told that women are they want to just get fucked by these like dominant, awful men. Yeah, 5%. Literally 5%. And it's just like how Jews are, where it's like they're so overrepresented in the media because they run the media. Whores are overrepresented on Tinder and pornography and at bars. Very few women just fire up the Tinder and look for dick. It's mostly for homos. Very few women are like, you want to know what I want to go do? Do 20 shots and hook up with a stranger. You're going to end up with a fucking a kickboxer. So just don't lose hope. There's so many good women out there. And when you treat a woman right, not like a gamma, not a white knight, don't be like, whatever you want, baby. Oh, I'm so sorry that you were abused by your last guy. I'll never hurt you. Oh, no, none of that shit. But just be strong in leadership and provide. But they don't want to be yelled at or beaten or any of that shit. They just don't. Girls' night out for married women equals herpes. The grabblers are at hand. That's all right. It would be awesome if on Halloween Amy did that for the day. Oh, she was a geisha girl. I'm gonna be Walter's gonna be because Halloween's for little kids. You know, Michaela Peterson's the type of bitch that'd be like, I'm gonna go as this and I'm gonna make my baby do this. Ugh. Walter's going to be a pirate, and I'm going to be his first mate, and Charlie's going to be a parrot. And Amy made all the outfits. They're really funny. And she's going to be like a pirate lady. 6'6"? Who the hell's 6'6"? I'm 6'8". Funny to watch the Bears write haha because they are afraid to write LOL. You can write LOL as long as you actually laugh out loud. Just don't lie to me. I prefer a woman without herpes. That's a good. Thanks for that, Clint. In 3 years, I've been married for 20 years. That's crazy. Good for you, Tiny Bear. My son's going to be a lumberjack. Nice, OKC Bear. I'm going to make a What Would Duterte shirt. I love it. You sure know what women want and need, finally. Yes. I've been with a lot of women. I've also been in a faithful and healthy marriage, and I've never hated women. Like, I never had that I was like, when I was with a lot of women, it wasn't out of hatred or humiliation, which is what some dudes do, where they just are like, yeah, I hooked up again. I just really like the act of sex, and I was exposed to a lot of women because of stand-up and being in TV and stuff. So, like, I know a lot about them. And when I was younger, my mom used to have all these moms over to talk about their problems before the internet. You know, it was like all about breastfeeding and stuff. And so I would just listen to what they would talk about. And it's like women aren't, they just aren't what a lot of people think they are. They're not like a lot of these women hating men or white knights. You have these two spectrums. You have the MGTOW guys, and then you have the white knights. You know, the MGTOW guys are like, women have been poisoned and corrupted. I'm going in the woods to whack off until I die. You're fucking retarded and weak. And then you have the white knight guys. They're like, I'm going to save them all from these monstrous men with jobs. I'm like, you're retarded and weak. It's just like they just want someone that will watch their back while they have their families. It's pretty obvious. Einstein said he couldn't drive a car because he said it was too complicated. Oh, dude, he was an incest victim. I suggest to rename Halloween to Cultural Appropriation Day. I used to do a bit about that. Oh, you guys want to see Grabbler football? Again, sign up for unauthorized.tv. Where is it? This is a very rough cut, obviously, but I just wanted to get some material out there for the people because a lot of you guys were involved in writing some of these bits. Where is it? Without gravy. That's not it. Where is this thing? No. Hang on. This is only going to be at unauthorized.tv, so it's called Grabbler Football. Check this out. What is it? Oh, and if you were ever my Patreon at any time in history, email me at whydidn'ttheylaugh.com. Whydidn'ttheylaugh@gmail.com and let me know your information because, Patreon kicked me off and let's just have some fun with it. That's all I'm going to say. But just, hit me up if you were ever a subscriber of mine on Patreon and are a little bored and want to, have a little fun in your life. Also, if you want to support the channel, P.O. Box 727, Gig Harbor, Washington 98335. I only accept analog super chats. None of this digital Mark of the Beast currency because I have been kicked off the monetization program of YouTube as well as PayPal. So if you want to support, it's all voluntary though. If you don't want to, it's totally cool. I'm not fucking Michaela Peterson over here. Give me $600 or else you don't get it. No. It's just if you just want to fucking throw a tip into the piano man's jar, is more the vibe around here. All right, this is called Grabbler Football. Hang on one second, ladies and gentlemen. And I always make sure I say ladies and gentlemen so no one gets the idea that any other gender can possibly exist. I like getting I'm interested in a lot of things. I played piano my whole life. I like just looking up stuff on the internet. And sometimes I'm like hanging out with my buddies and I'm like, hey, you guys want to talk about like the Titanic hoax? And they're like, no, dude, we're watching football, bro. And I'm like, dude, why don't you guys care about what I like? I watch football with you guys. I played football. I was an all-week football player. I get it. I like football, but the NFL, sorry guys, a little boring. It's like the Minnesota Vikings against the New York Giants. I'm like, are they real Vikings? They're like, no. I'm like, are those guys bigger than the other teams? Are they Giants? They're like, no. And that's just like 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 5, 4th and 5, punt, 1st and 10. I'm like, how is this more exciting than the Titanic hoax. I would watch football if it was called Grappler football and it was real. It was like... The Seattle Warhawks taking on the San Francisco Sodomites. Oh, there's a false flag on the play. Now the shotgun offense is going to be made illegal. That's an encroachment on the Constitution. Here comes men superior in the Grabblers. Oh, everybody's going to a gulag. Welcome to Grabbler football, the only game where no one ever wins. They're doing a Bitcoin toss on the 50-yard line, Tom. Only one autistic kid can even see the Bitcoin. Oh, here comes Joe Biden coming in to smell the little kid's hair. Oh, that's creepy, Tom. Here comes Hillary Clinton. Oh, half the stadium has committed suicide. Welcome to Grabbler football. Here come the Freemasons, taking a knee at the 33-yard line. No one knows why. Real sneaky stuff, Tom. Here comes the New York 9/11 against the Detroit Scions and the Tampa Bay Bolsheviks. Oh, everybody's dead. Here comes Steven Trotter playing tight end. Oh, now he's wide receiver for Glenn Beck. Oh. They're playing shekel defense here, Tom. Here come the Grabblers, and everyone's dead. Grabbler football. I gotta do that one. That one's one of my favorite ones. Here comes the Cleveland Brown shirts. Oh, and everybody's dead. That's a funny one. We wrote. Oh, dude, I just remembered a couple more. Oh, John F. Kennedy took a shot to the dome. Looks like we're blitzing Vietnam, Tom. Welcome to Grabbler football. All right, so because I don't just want to be one of these guys that just trolls and says like how everyone else sucks. I make shit. Like, that's good comedy. So when I talk shit about Joe Rogan and how Bill Burr's a sellout cuck, and Joe Rogan's a thumb, looks like a human toe, he's a sodomite, I'm not just going to be like, so there. So I'm like, people could be like, so what's better? That's better. Grabbler football is funnier than anything either of those two butt-fucking dumb fuck. I'm swearing a lot today. I got to relax. I'm just so fired up about the Peterson family. I gotta stop swearing so much though. I know a lot of families listen to this. I'm really my upstate New York side is coming out big time. I'm just like, hey, what the fuck, man? Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Like, it's just so, I'm so trashy, man. Like, I have such a trashy underbelly. Lobster bisque is almost as good as the gravy. How dare you, Rigatoni Bear? I command you to talk to me like an equal. Exactly, Cripple Bear. I'm glad you like that one. I think Bill sold out because his wife, not the money. That's even more disgusting. It's better to sell out for money than just for your stupid black wife. Like, that's so gross. He's like, oh, I got a black wife, so now I have to become a liar. Can you imagine just having that life where you're like, because my wife has dark skin, I now have to become a lying psychopath. All right. Shot to the dome. Rogan's wife isn't a doctor. Lobster's a sea cockroach. Yeah, and they molest their... This is how I'm going to handle any Jordan Peterson accusations in the future. Lobsters molest their kids. in the wild. Half the comments on Joe R.E. Snips are about his height. Yeah, we've changed everything here at the Bear channel. I can never imagine having a black wife. Gross. There's nothing gross about a black wife. It's gross when you define yourself by your black wife and then become a fucking psycho. I mean, I'm personally not really into... I dated one black woman and I thought that her skin kind of smelled like peanuts. And that's real. Oh, racist, right? I'm just telling you the truth. There was definitely a scent of peanuts. Principal women would never think about attempting to hit another woman's man. It doesn't dawn on us. Good for you, Tammy. Bill Burr's terrible. Stupid black wife. Burr's wife isn't cute. Lobsters have 2 weens. Yeah, they have 2 weens. One's just for raping their daughters. I've gained great knowledge and wisdom from the channel, Owen. Honestly, I thank you. I don't know you, but I feel like you are a friend to me than anyone I know. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate that, buddy. I once dated a black Japanese girl, and I think those two things canceled each other out because her skin didn't smell like peanuts, and she didn't walk 10 feet behind me giggling. But, you know, it was all just such a total waste of time. I guess I did garner knowledge from all of it, but if I could have, I would have just been with Amy the whole time. But this is how life gets complicated, though. It's like I wouldn't have known Amy. She's 8 years younger than me. What was I gonna do? Date her when she was 15? Jordan Peterson would be like, yes. Oh God, he's disgusting. I'd date a black woman if she was God-fearing. Yeah, I'm not anti-black people. They have a bike theft problem, but I don't like their culture very much. Black men are usually pretty suspect, though. I mean, just culture. If I would be pretty disappointed if any of my daughters, if I ever had a daughter, dated a black guy, unless I knew him really well and he didn't act at all black. Because they brag about how many women they're with. All the like dads. They're like, shit. I fucking hate it. If I had a daughter and she was ever treated like how black people treat women a lot, allegedly, culturally, whatever you want to say, I would be horrified. You had a conversation with the pedophile lobster monster. Oh, I know, DJ McGrath. And I don't know what you're getting at. If you're acting like people can't grow, yeah, I fell for it too. I used to think he was great. When you learn, you change. It's the whole point of life. You know, it's almost like these people. I did the metaphor yesterday about if you think you're drinking water and you're like, oh, it's piss. You know, because of shame tactics, people just are like, oh, it's water. It's like, no, admit it's piss and get some water. So basically, he must be uncled up to date your daughter. He just, no, I would prefer if they just dated white men. Because I think that it just causes a lot of unnecessary complications. If I had a daughter that was like deeply in love with a black, I wouldn't forbid it, but I would really, really get to know him. My girl did black, never knew her dad. It's not good. No, it's terrible. The only it's just so foreign to my people. Did Owen land the point? I think it's less bad when it's white male black woman. Even though black women can be so fucking insane. I mean, because to keep the men in, black women have become so psychotic because